Hey guys, Alex here, and this video is going to be about Artisteer. So I had a lot of people ask me to make an Artisteer video, or I guess show pictures, just so you guys are kind of clear on what a good template looks like. Well, the truth is, the reason why me and Fingerman love Artisteer is because it's really hard to go wrong, like in the basic layout. The only thing you could probably go wrong on is if you have some weird colors. Um, like a rule of thumb is always have a white background. I think it just goes way better with the AdSense formats. But I did experiment a couple of times in the past with different formats, but I never saw like a really big jump. So I think a white background and on both the theme and AdSense is really key. So a few personal preferences. First, I usually like to only have one sidebar. So I went to sidebar, then I go to layout, and I like to put it on the right. And I'll remove this vertical menu. Okay, so this will be a sidebar. It's not really important what you see here, as long as it looks like the link colors look okay. Because as soon as you add widgets in the template, once your once a template is hosted on your WordPress blog, like whatever's on the widgets is going to replace here. This is just like what's on default. So a few other things. I usually like to have the menu under the headline, but this is definitely like a personal preference thing. Uh, Here I like to put it larger usually. I think 900 is good. I'll change the header. I like to put it a bit shorter. You could add some images like here, or you can add like your own actually. Sometimes I do that. Like I had a website that was related to water, so I put like a really nice artsy water picture. It was really cool. What else? So, like I said, I like to have the menu under, so I'll put it there. If you prefer it to have the menu up, that's fine. I just like to have some user navigation. So usually on the menu I only have my pages, like the home, about me, contact us. Here in the sidebar I have categories, and depending on the website, like once I get like maybe 1,000+ visitors a day, I usually add a search bar to make it easier for them if they're like searching something. Plus usually by the time you have 1,000 visitors a day, you have a lot of posts. So they might like want to look at the other information you have on your website. So having a search bar I feel helps. So you can pretty much configure the colors to your liking. Definitely like the white background. I like having my links in some form of shade of blue. So this looks good. If you want to configure a bit like how the article looks, like you could remove some of this or some of the information there, you can just go to article, and for example you could make it so it doesn't show the author. Then I can remove the date if that's what you want. Definitely want an edit button. That's of course, it only shows that if you're logged in as the admin. Visitors don't see it. So it's really cool to have the edit button right there. What else? Show category. I rarely use tags. I just don't really like them. I know Fingerman likes them, but I don't, so I usually just remove anything that mentions tags. Keep comments, category. Okay, this looks pretty good now. Anything else? Buttons. Menu looks fine. Header. Sheet. Background. See what happens. Oh, this could look pretty cool. Yep, honestly, I feel like this theme is good. So you can really configure your theme to what you want. Make sure to save it, and later on, it's always a good idea to test things. Also, on some of my websites, eventually I added Amazon. So what I did was I added a second sidebar. So I did like a two-column thing like this. Or actually, in the future, if I ever had to do it, I'd probably would use this one instead. So maybe like have Amazon here and your categories and recent posting here and search. The reason why I rarely do this is because like this looks kind of lame. Like as a reader, it's a really small box. So unless I'm using Amazon, I usually just use one sidebar, so the like text box is pretty big. And that's about it. So pretty sure I mentioned it, but really with Artisteer, it's really hard to go wrong. That's why I really like to use it for all my websites. I always start with an Artisteer theme, and then as things progress, maybe I might switch to something else. Like for example, with passive income SEO, I didn't use an Artisteer theme because I'm not going to use AdSense on that website, and I just like 100% want to focus on something that looks good. And Artisteer is like pretty good looking, but it's obviously not like the most flashy or good looking website you can possibly make. But in the case of AdSense, it's a perfect mix of good looking and um, putting enough emphasis on your ads so you get a good CTR. Oh, and finally, a last thing you want to do is WordPress theme, and then you can just export it. And then you can, if you export it in zip, you can upload it directly to the server in zip format. Or if you do it as a folder, you can change it, you can transfer it by FTP. Okay, so that's it about this video. So honestly, as you can see, Artisteer is not too complicated. It just takes, maybe your first theme will take you a while, but after that, it's really just making a theme, and it's pretty fun. Just make something that you like, and it's really hard to go wrong. So have fun.